In 1945, near the end of World War II, kamikaze pilot Heiki Shikishima lands on a Japanese base on Odo Island. Lead mechanic Tachibana deduces that Shikishima had fled from his duty by feigning technical issues. That night, Godzilla, a large prehistoric creature, attacks the Garizo. Shikishima freezes up and cannot bring himself to shoot the monster from his plane and is knocked unconscious. Tachibana, the only other survivor of the attack, blames Shikishima for failing to act. Shikishima returns home to find his parents were killed in the bombing of Tokyo. Plagued by survivor's guilt, he works as a minesweeper and begins supporting a woman, Nariko Ishii, whose parents also died in the bombing, and an orphan baby, Akiko, whom Nariko rescued. Meanwhile, Godzilla is mutated and empowered by the United States Operation Crossroads nuclear tests at Bikini Atoll. It destroys several American warships before heading for Japan. Owing to tensions with the Soviet Union, the U.S. offers no help save for a few decommissioned Imperial Japanese Navy vessels approved by General Douglas MacArthur. The Japanese government, concerned about inducing panic, does not notify the public about the danger. In May 1947, Shikishima and his minesweeper crew are tasked with stalling Godzilla's approach to Japan. They release a mine into Godzilla's mouth and detonate it, causing significant damage, but it quickly regenerates. The heavy Japanese cruiser Takao 1930. Takao then engages Godzilla, but is subsequently destroyed when Godzilla unleashes its heat ray. After returning to Tokyo, Shikishima opens up to Nariko about his encounters with Godzilla. Days later, Godzilla makes landfall in Japan and attacks Ginza, where Nariko works. Nariko narrowly survives the initial attack and reunites with Shikishima. Enraged by tank fire, Godzilla obliterates much of the district with its heat ray, killing tens of thousands. Nariko is caught in the blast and presumed dead. Devastated by the loss, Shikishima vows revenge. Frustrated by the government's inaction, one of the minesweeper's crew, former naval ensign Kenji Noda, devises a plan to destroy Godzilla by luring it out to Sagami Bay before surrounding it with Freon tanks and rupturing them. Water aeration, lowering the water's buoyancy and sinking it, letting the resultant water pressure crush it. Should the plan fail, balloons will be inflated under Godzilla to force it back up, killing it through explosive decompression. To enact his plan, Noda has recruited Navy veterans to crew disarmed IJN destroyers. Shikishima recruits Tachibana to repair a broken down. He plans to kill Godzilla in a suicide attack by flying into its mouth and detonating the explosive charges on board. He leaves Akiko in the care of his neighbor Sumiko. Godzilla resurfaces, and Shikishima lures it into the trap set by two destroyers. It survives the initial plunge and then breaks free before being forced back up. With the help of a fleet of tugboats, the ships haul Godzilla to the surface. An enraged Godzilla prepares to destroy all the vessels with its heat ray, but Shikishima crashes the plane into its mouth and destroys its head, causing the energy of the heat ray to tear its body apart. The crew celebrates as Shikishima ejects before the explosion and parachutes to safety, having remembered that Tachibana implored him to let go of his guilt and choose to live. Shikishima visits a hospital where he reunites with Nariko, who survived the destruction, but has a black bruise creeping up her neck. Meanwhile, a chunk of Godzilla's flesh begins to regenerate as it sinks into the ocean.